Now, the character I was looking forward to, y'all know, I said it earlier in the video. Yes, Galactus. God damn it, yes. Now, how they do Galactus? They did him justice. Oh my god. I won't spend too much time on it. It's like the Superman movie. This was not no origin story. Yes, they do go through the origins, but it's very, very quick. But it's set up already that, look, they're superheroes. You know, everyone knows exactly who they are. They've been doing this for literally years. Yes, today is the day, people. Today is the day I get to review one of my most anticipated movies of the year. And that is dun 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 Fantastic Four. Something like that. It's the theme is something like that. But yes, guys, I get to review one of my like highly anticipated movies of the year. So did this live up to my expectations or did it not? Well, you guys going to find out. Go ahead and cue that intro.
Finally, you, we got a problem, 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 it's probably you, yeah, we got a problem, we got a problem, we got a problem, we got a problem.
Yes, guys, today, like I said, I get to review one of my most anticipated films, and if you guys want to know why this was on my list, it's one of the highest anticipated films, it was because of a simple thing, y'all. So I have been looking forward to a movie doing a certain character right for years, ever since I saw them do it wrong. Now, if you guys remember that it was like 10 plus years ago, whatever it was, with Chris Evans and all of them in the Fantastic Four, that one where they had Galactus as a huge ass cloud in that movie because they couldn't afford to do Galactus right. So I've been looking forward to a movie to do him right ever since that one. So I've been waiting for years for this one to come out. Now, did they do my boy Galactus right? Well, you guys got to find that out in a little bit. But I will tell you guys this. So yes, guys, let's go ahead and talk about this film. So this film follows Marvel's first family, and that is the Fantastic Four. Now, on this universe, the Fantastic Four, they're pretty much the only superheroes out there. You know what I'm saying? So everyone pretty much caters to them. But what happens when there is a force unlike they've ever seen attacking their world? And that is Galactus. Now, I will not tell you guys specifically why Galactus is coming to Earth, but all I'll say is they actually have a really good reason why he's coming. Now, I know like marketing pretty much spoiled why Galactus comes, but I won't say it. I'll say that for a spoiler review. Yes, I liked this movie, y'all. Yes, my expectations were met with this one, y'all. And I had some very, very high expectations for this film. I will tell you guys this, man, off the rip. Visually, this is one of the best looking Marvel movies they've ever put out, y'all. Oh my gosh, when I saw those trailers, I was like, does it really look that good on screen? And watching this film, just the colors, the saturation, the presentation they put out, it all looks so gorgeous. The world just looks so real. And it was like I've always wanted to explore a Marvel universe and a Marvel world. We just got to this world. We're new to this universe. And I'm like, I want to stay here longer. I'm like, I'm absolutely loving this time period that they're in, how it looks. I was just falling in love with just the whole aesthetic, like the whole visuals. Like, I think you will fall in love with the visuals watching this movie. The visuals alone will probably win you over. Like I said, I like the movie, but there is some problems, and I will get into some problems later on. But first, I want to talk about, man, this is Marvel's first family. So you've got 4 main characters here, and how do they all do? Look, I know I was one of the people, y'all. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I was one of the people saying, I don't think this is gonna work because y'all cast him in literally everything. Pedro Pascal as Reed, Mr. Fantastic / Reed Richards. And like I said, I was one of the people who are like, dude, I don't see him as Reed Richards at all. But watching this film, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, you get lost in his character. I didn't even see Pedro Pascal a lot of the time. I just saw Reed Richards because he plays such a great job playing Reed Richards. Like, he has it down to a T, that character. That's how good of a performance he was playing. And not only does he give out a really good performance, but also the really good emotional side of this movie comes from Vanessa Kirby. I think that's the surprising character here. How great she was, because she has very, very emotional moments, and that's one of the emotional moments right there. I guess you guys can see they freaking spoiled in the marketing, but this movie kind of revolves around, she's pregnant, y'all. If y'all know the comics, y'all know who that is, right? But she's pretty much pregnant in this one, and there's a lot of emotion behind that, you know. And I thought Vanessa Kirby probably had the best performance in this movie, because when she has to perform and she has to show out and she has to show a Pacific side of herself, you really see it in scenes like this. So I will say, I think Vanessa Kirby had the best performance out of everybody. Like, she surprised me. I feel like I've never really seen her this good before. And I'll talk about these last two really quickly, but you got Joseph Quinn, aka the Human Torch, and Eben Moss. I forgot how to say his last name, but he plays Ben right here. And I'll tell you guys, man, they bring that comedy. They pretty much, from these two, they bring the humor side of the film. And I thought, speaking of the humor, I thought the humor, they very much balance it out well. Like, the tone, I will say here, is actually very well balanced. But I'll say what they did with Johnny in this one was a little different. Like, you know, Johnny's mainly a pretty boy. That's all I always thought. Always going after the girls, you know, trying to show out this and that. But in this movie, yes, he tries to do it again somewhat. And everybody's like, oh, look, there go your new space girlfriend and stuff like that. But you see a different side of him too. You see more of a smarter side to him. He's like, look, no, I want to help out, and this is how I can help out. So I'm like, at least for me, I've never seen this side of Johnny before, and I'm actually glad that they actually showcased this different side of Johnny that I would say I've seen. So yes, all of the characters here did an amazing job. For Marvel's first family, y'all, and this was my biggest concern with how would these four work, and they worked beautifully, y'all. Now let's talk about another big thing in the film. Now, another thing I was looking forward to was the Silver Surfer. Now, this one's different because it's played by a female, but if you guys know from the comic, the Silver Surfer goes both ways pretty much. So this one, you got Julia Garner playing the Silver Surfer here, and I will say I thought her performance was really, really good as a Silver Surfer. The only problem I have, and it's not necessarily with her, it's how they kind of wrote her character. I wish we would have spent more time on her character, because like, if you know the Silver Surfer, you know the backstory behind the Silver Surfer and Galactus. You know what happens between those two, right? But in this one they do it, but it's so quick. I feel like it's just like, hey, let's bring this up like 2 scenes, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, you know. So I wish we would have actually spent more time on her background. Actually, you know, it's crazy. A lot of people actually hate this movie, but it's actually a movie that does it better and that actually writes the character better. And it's the other one, Rise of the Silver Surfer, that came out in 2007. I thought this movie, like I said, people think this movie is terrible, but I will always say that they really wrote. So it's just somewhat rushed. The Silver Surfer right in that one. Like, that's one of the big things I can give that movie, is they really, like, you really see that side, that different side of the Silver Surfer. They spend time with that. In this one, like I said, they spending kind of like 2 scenes on it, you know? Now, the character I was looking forward to, y'all know, I said it earlier in the video. Yes, Galactus. God damn it, yes. Now, how they do Galactus? They did him justice. Oh my God. I won't spend too much time on it. But I will just say, yo, God damn it, where the other movie ran out of money to actually do Galactus right, you see Galactus in all his glory in this one, y'all. I'm not even gonna show a full clip of it, but if you see, I feel like the best way to see this movie is in IMAX, and that's just because of Galactus, y'all. Because Galactus is massive, you guys. Like, holy, and he looks good, and he sounds perfect as Galactus. Like, you see him as a god level threat in this, because that's what he is, and he's here for a specific reason. And I just loved Galactus in this movie. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I absolutely adored him in this movie. Another thing I thought they did well was, man, you guys know they've been playing that theme everywhere. Yes, I'm talking about this theme. But when they play it in the movie, it just fits so perfectly. Now, they play that theme like a couple of times throughout the film, but I will tell you guys, when they play it, it just fits. Like I said, it works so well into the story. It's not like it's just forcibly thrown in there. There's a reason why this theme is there, and I loved it. You know, I've been loving that theme from the jump. And the big thing is with themes, or how I want my themes, is I want them to feel earned. And in this movie, the theme, when it plays and it shows, it is earned, y'all. I promise y'all. And another thing I gotta praise this movie about, especially when it comes to Marvel, is I feel like the stakes haven't been this high in a Marvel movie in a while, y'all. Like, pretty much, like, this is Galactus. Galactus is like a god level threat. He eats planets, so he's coming to eat this Earth. And I just thought, like, damn, I was watching the movie, I was like, I haven't felt like my back has been against the wall like this. Like, I feel scared for not only the Fantastic Four, but I feel scared for all these other humans in the movie, you know, like, and they do a really good job of spending time on that too, because you actually see a different political side that I feel like you might not see in some other Marvel movies in this one. Because in this Marvel movie, what happens is they go see Galactus, right? There's one point, but Galactus is like, look, I want something. You know what I'm saying? So whenever they come back, they're like, hey, look, like Galactus is coming and we might not be able to stop him. And you see how that just becomes politically. You know, you see how people are actually divided about that. Because if you go from the beginning, this is like a perfect world, y'all. Everybody loves the Fantastic Four in this universe. I mean, everybody loves these people, right? But like I said, something happens and people just start turning on them. And like I said, they become divided. And I actually liked that part in the movie because I'm like, Marvel low-key didn't have to go so hard on this part, but they did. You know, I don't want to explain or spoil what happens with it. But I just thought Marvel didn't have to do it, but I'm so glad they did, y'all, when it comes to these four. Now, with all my positives, there was just a couple of negatives, and I will say I really feel like this movie should have been a little bit longer, y'all, because you really see it in the third act. The third act, I felt like, was just kind of rushed, y'all, because there's a lot of plot points and a lot of things they got to do because they set up a bunch of stuff, and they're like, oh, we do gotta get back to that. Oh yeah, let's go ahead and like rush this. Let's rush that, and let's rush that. You know, so I just felt like that third act was way too rushed and should have been spread out a little bit more, y'all. That's my biggest thing. But I thought the action was great, y'all. I thought the action, the main action is pretty much in that third act of the film. That's where the movies gets to shine a little bit when it comes to those action elements. But I will say though, yeah, it definitely did feel a little rushed in that third act, especially like I said with a couple of things. I'm not gonna spoil what those things are, but that was my biggest problem because I was really enjoying that movie until that third act happens. And like I said, third act is rushed, and then the CGI, I would say that's another thing. The CGI, I'm not telling you guys why there's some bad CGI in this movie, but I thought the CGI at first looked good, but then something happens in the third act, or third act, you kind of see it. And that CGI just gets worse and worse. And it was kind of noticeable. I'm not gonna lie. And it's not even me that noticed it, but it was a bunch of other people that noticed it too, how bad certain CGI things kind of looked. So if you don't notice it, don't notice it. But it was something that we all noticed when it came to that third act. Especially in third act, you really see how bad some of the CGI is. But look, I'll go ahead and go into my rating of the film. Look, I'll tell you guys, this was one of the most anticipated movies of the year. And it met my expectations, like I said earlier, y'all. And I had a very high expectation for this one, y'all. Because like I said, I've been waiting for them to do a Fantastic Four movie right, at least in my eyes. And they did it here, y'all. I'm so glad to tell you they did it here, y'all. I was watching this movie and I was just in my chair all pumped. I had someone next to me and they were like, you're so excited. Like, you know, I just haven't been so thrilled to watch a movie, y'all. Like Superman, I was happy to watch that. But this, I've been waiting on this one, y'all. I will say that's the biggest thing. I've been waiting on something like this. And Marvel did it justice. Because y'all know Marvel, they last couple phases, you know, they've been up and down. But this one finally feels like they're back on track. Even though I like Thunderbolts too. But this one feels like they're really back on track with this one. Now, there is 2 post-credit scenes. Now, those post-credit scenes, okay, the big one is the first one, y'all. I will tell you guys, the huge one that everyone cares about is that first one. But I'm not gonna spoil it. I'll spoil it in another video I'll put up probably tomorrow or something like that. But in that first one, like I was super hyped when it happened. But then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, they about to rush this too. So I'm hyped. I was hyped when I first saw it, but like then I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't know now. I don't know. But we'll see how they do with it. And then the second credit scene is pretty much like a little joke. It's just a little joke, y'all. So y'all don't truly have to stay for that second one. Everyone wants to stay for that first one though. But yeah, if you're going for my rating, y'all, like I had a blast watching the movie. It's so fun. Tone is great. Or it's perfectly balanced tone. Humor is great in it. They know when to throw in the laughs. Yeah, definitely one of my favorite movies of the year. I will give this a strong 8.5 out of 10. You know what? I get Superman 9. I'll go with a 9.2 because I'm like, I loved both of those movies about the same. So I'll 8.59, y'all. Somewhere just in that range. Just know I had fun with this one, y'all. So look, y'all guys first time finding my channel, please hit the subscribe button, like the video, tell me your thoughts, complaints, criticism, stuff like that down below. And we will see you guys in the next one. Peace. Yo, what's going on, people, man? If you guys just enjoyed that video, make sure to like that video, subscribe, all that juicy stuff. But if you guys want to get some private time with me, there's my chat right there, Smooth6God. You can also get with me on Instagram at CobraStarGreen. You also can follow me on Twitch. We will be streaming our live shows and everything, gaming and all that, everything on Twitch. And if you really want to get some private time with me and you want to talk, whatever, you can get with me on Twitter. So there is all of my links right there. You guys can check it out. Subscribe to the channel if you guys need to like the video, and we will see you guys in the next one. Peace.